Now, your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, we've got temperatures tonight in the upper 20s, and that is a crucial thing because we're going to see temperatures right near the freezing mark as moisture begins to move into the area. We are carefully monitoring that because on the satellite radar picture, look at all of that activity. Snow, maybe some freezing rain. Your early morning Saturday could be a little tricky if you have to be out. We're going to talk more about what to expect with that wintry mess that could be around when we come back. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Begin tonight with breaking news. At least 2 people were hurt in a shooting in Champaign.
The shooting happened at Kenwood and Springfield outside of Black Hawk Liquor Store. This is the second shooting in Champaign in just 2 days. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen is live at the scene of tonight's shooting. So Jennifer, what do you know?
Jessica, right now police are still investigating to get more information on what happened here tonight. They blocked off the entire parking lot here outside of Black Hawk Liquor Store. Officials could not confirm the condition of those 2 victims or if anybody else was hurt. They also haven't said yet what they believe led up to this shooting. Now, what we can see now at the scene are several shell casings and evidence markers on the ground. Police have been going in and out of the stores, talking to people who may have seen something. But right now, like I said, there is limited information. I will remain on the scene and get more details, and as soon as I learn anything else, I will bring you those updates. Live in Champaign, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Jennifer, we'll hear from you again soon. Thank you. Now to the other shooting in Champaign. This one happened last night. 3 people were hurt, 2 19-year-olds and a 20-year-old. Police found evidence on Alabama Avenue off of Bloomington Road. Police say the suspect or suspects fired a gun several times toward the car the 3 people were in. 2 of the 3 victims were badly hurt. The other was released from the hospital. Some who live near the scene were too nervous to talk about this on camera, but one man spoke up about what he's noticed in his neighborhood.
That's a shame that people are scared, especially here in this community. It shouldn't be that way. I like Champaign-Urbana. It's been a great community for me, and I don't know. I don't have the answers. If we had the answers, we'd put a stop to it.
Police say they don't have any suspect information and no arrests have been made. Urbana police are also investigating a shooting. This happened yesterday, a block away from Booker T Elementary School around 2:30 p.m. Police say a 23-year-old man was shot twice. He was taken to the hospital. No word if anyone is in custody as of tonight.
3 men were arrested after police say they shot at a man in a car and he started chasing them. It happened in Danville near Main and Columbus streets on Wednesday. The victim told police a person pulled up and fired at him. He started to chase the car with the suspected shooter onto I-74. Police were able to find that car and do a traffic stop. They found a gun and meth inside. Among the 3 men arrested, this man on your screen, he's facing charges of reckless discharge of a firearm and possession of a controlled substance. The other 2 were released when investigators found they did not participate in his actions. 3 U of I police were hurt after trying to remove a woman from a video store. It happened last night at the Family Video on Philo Road in Urbana. Police say 44-year-old Treva Murray was refusing to leave the store. When officers arrived, she knocked down display merchandise and started swinging objects at police. They tased her, but it had no effect, apparently. It took 4 officers to take her to the ground. Again, 3 of those officers were hurt. All 3 were taken to the hospital. They've all been released. Murray is charged with battery, resisting a police officer, disorderly conduct, criminal damage to property, and trespassing.
One man says he helped a woman after she was abandoned in a field. Mike Flow says he was driving to work when he saw her lying in a field off of Route 45 in Urbana. When he went up to her, he thought she was dead because her face was gray, but he nudged her just to make sure and realized she was still alive. He yelled for someone to call an ambulance and stayed there until they arrived.
When she came to and started breathing and talking, she started shaking really violently. So she was laying in the wet mud. So I'm sure she was hypothermic or in shock.
Investigators say they're handling this as a domestic dispute. They say it started with an argument in a car. They say the woman is doing okay. Fire departments across the area are getting more calls, but not for reasons you might think. This is one of the busiest years in history for the Carroll Fire Department. That's in northeast Urbana. Their captain says some of their firefighters are trained to do more than just fight fires. For example, some have certifications for large animal rescues. They're also affected by fewer volunteers, which they say forces them to rely on other departments for help and for others to rely on them as well.
Well, you can always say to the others, oh, we have enough help. Okay, great. Slow down, or you can go back. We're good. That's great. But in the meantime, we get a lot more calls because we're putting each other on each other's run tickets as automatic aid to provide the quickest response possible.
Danville, Champaign, and Urbana all had more calls overall this year compared to this time last year. Only Decatur's call volume went down.
Springfield officially broke ground on the next stage of its rail improvement project.
It's the first project in the capital city to use money from the new Capitol bill. Lawmakers from the federal, state, and local levels gathered for the ceremony today. WCIA 3's Cole Hankey was there. He joins us live in Springfield tonight. So, Cole, what will this project accomplish?
Well, this is the first of many projects to aim towards clearing up traffic and congestion across the city. Today's ceremony took place at the site of a new overpass that will help people cross railroad tracks or cross under them, for that matter, and get rid of that traffic problem that the city faces.
This project has been viewed by many, or by some, I should say, as pie in the sky, but with everyone's leadership, this project has become a reality.
Springfield's Railway Project is one of the first major projects in the state to utilize Capitol Bill funding. Some of the money for that Capitol Bill could be coming in later than expected, since the plans for a Chicago casino have been delayed. But this project, along with others like it, won't be affected by that delay.
The portion that you're talking about from casinos and from taxes on cigarettes and others is focused on vertical capital in the Rebuild Illinois plan. I think it's very important that we get this done. It's good for the state. It's good for the city of Chicago that we get a Chicago casino going.
The tracks that run through the middle of downtown cause major traffic problems. It also makes it difficult for commercial development outside of the heart of downtown. This project aims to fix that by consolidating the tracks and creating through lanes for traffic. Along with state lawmakers, Senator Dick Durbin and Representative Rodney Davis were in town for the event.
Ultimately, these projects will improve the quality of life for the people, not just in this neighborhood, but citywide and beyond.
And this is just one example of the long-term vision that it takes to continue to invest in a project that's going to do wonders, not just for this area in the city, but throughout this entire corridor.
Now, along with funding from the Capitol bill, the city did get funding from the federal government as well. They received almost $40 million from the federal government to get these projects done in a timely manner. Jessica.
All right, Cole, thanks so much. Phase 1 of this project is scheduled to be finished in 2021. This initial phase for Springfield will cost nearly $30 million. The city will get more than $120 million in total from the capital plan for the project. The entire thing is scheduled to finish up in 2025.
One man has helped make sure kids have gifts for the holidays. Now he's the one in need of some help.
Plus, having an empty bowl was a good thing tonight. How buying them helped one organization.
And the Illinois football team is looking to make it a 5th straight win. They have plenty of motivation to do it.